We're going to hit record. We're going to talk about something. We're just going to sit and chat for a bit. So this is the boring part of the video. The part where Valerian shows up and says, I am the Dynast King. And together. And then we like dogpile him and he's like, ah! And then all the I shouldn't spoil. All the other people are just staring at like, we're going to have to pick someone else, aren't we? Anyways. Spent some time last night and this morning waking on the run. We're up to 27 gameplay positives and 7 gameplay negatives. So, a concern, complaint, has been leveled by someone, and rather than just, dismiss it absolutely, I thought I'd bring the concern to the crowd. See what you guys think, because here's the deal. One of the most important factors in determining the value of a game in my system is its density. Now, that's fine, and I stand by that. I stand by that philosophically, and I stand by that personally and professionally, and blah, blah, blah. But density ultimately does serve as a factor of time. Now, I already do a bunch of little things to try and be as accurate as possible with the time of a game. For example, the game we're playing right now is going to get about 40 minutes tacked onto it for the amount of time I played off camera. Anytime I do something like that, that's a very common thing to have happen, right? Similarly, if there's a game where I sit here chatting for a pound of time, and I've got a timer here to even tell me how much time, that time will be subtracted from the game score to try and make sure that we're being as accurate as possible. Pause. Happy birthday, Colin Peluso. I hope you have a really good day today. Remember, cheesecake. Good morning, Spartan. So, the concern that was raised is that number is not always as accurate as possible, and several specific things were mentioned, and it's all the obvious stuff, right? Like, for example, I'll use a direct example just from the Mario block. The game we're playing right now is a game I've only ever played once before, and I didn't 100% it last time. So I've been having a bit more of a time with this than I otherwise would be. Consequently, the game we've been playing right now is also a game that I've been playing while I was having some fatigue issues yesterday. Like, I was just not... It wasn't until my second shift yesterday my brain was even properly engaging. So that also makes the game slower. So if it's a game I know, it tends to be quicker because I know what I'm doing. If it tends to be a game when I'm having physical health issues, it tends to be slower because I'm having issues doing my job. There's also the fact that occasionally we will cheat. We don't actually cheat all that often in this show, and for good reason. But anytime we pull that trigger, we do it for exactly one reason, because we always cheat in games for one reason, and that reason is... Come on, make my day. Time! There it is. Every time we cheat because of time. If I'm playing Super Hydlide, and I have to go grind up to level 9 to be able to progress through the game, and I'm level 3, then I'm just going to do, and now we're level 9, and that shortens the game, right? Exactly, Valerian! Death to the Dynast King! And so, that's a common thing too. Several games that we have cheated on have actually scored better than they otherwise would because of the fact that we took out some of the grind. Weirdly enough, all of these, everything I'm talking about is actually all personified by a single game. Dragon Age Inquisition. No, seriously, hear me out. Dragon Age Inquisition is shorter because I knew what I was doing, and I had a guide. Longer because of the fact that I was insisting on doing the PFR method and doing as much of the content as I could. Shorter on camera because of the fact that I was doing so much of the stuff off camera, but also shorter again because I was cheating despite actually doing all that stuff off camera. Anyways, the real example here for me, though, is Yoshi's Island. Yoshi's Island is the hardest Mario game, in my opinion, of all of them, like the most properly difficult game, and we blasted through that in a day. This is something that wasn't brought up by the person who brought up this question, but is something that is a valid thing. I'm really good at platformers. Yeah, I know what you're going to say. Laura, you suck, but no, it's true. I am very good at platformers and certain other types of games. And so I'm going to go through those types of games faster, simply by virtue of the fact that I'm going to fail less, because that's a game type I happen to be good at. If I somehow magically took the entire system and dumped it in Valerian's hands, there would be games that they would be playing, which would be shorter, because they're better at them than me, and games that would be longer, because they're not as good at those types of games as me. That's just wheelhouse, right? That's how that works. Now, this is being brought up as an issue, an unfairness in the review system, which is fair and valid, but I've chewed on this particular problem for, honestly, a long time, and the only possible solutions I've ever come up with are the ones I've literally already told you, because we're already doing them. So I bring this option up to the crowd, and basically curious if anybody else can come up with anything that I haven't already thought about, and some other way to try and address the length issue. Before you bring it up, let me go ahead and say that one of the options that has been posited is to remove density from the equation. Let me go ahead and say that without even going past that initial step, but even past the first sentence there, I'm already against that idea. Density is something I value tremendously when it comes to game design and when it comes to review. The very concept of what a review is, how good or bad something is. Something like, I keep going back to it for the example, something like Modern Warfare 1 is just going to rate higher for me than something like King's Field 4, right? Because Modern Warfare 1 is a very dense game. There's a lot going on at a short period of time, and they're doing a lot with their time. Good morning, Dark Day. But we could, hypothetically, just remove density from the equation, which magically solves all these issues, but would rather fundamentally change the list, as you might imagine. Oh, I meant to get some music going. I apologize. Here, have some music. Yeah, that's the other thing. Sorry, I should also mention another game in which we cheated, which lowered the time of the game. I just mentioned Dragon Age Inquisition, but I actually got a much better example. Final Fantasy XIV. Some of you are aware of this. We actually had a rather lengthy discussion going into FF14, which boiled down to, should we bother doing the old quests legit, which was in my power to do, or should we have a flight, should we use the tools and mechanism I have to speed up all the boring crap so it's a less boring stream? And that's what it ultimately boiled down to, and in that case, was which do we value more, accuracy or the entertainment value of the stream itself? We lent towards entertainment value. We decided to go ahead and try to remove the dead time from the stream. I will also admit, as a personal aside, that the idea of having to do a lot of these games legit, honestly, I'd probably just straight up veto those games going forwards if that was the option, because I have a finite amount of time in my life, and I don't feel like spending it grinding. It's true, hazardous. Also, lol. Okay, so let me hypothetically remove density from the equation here. Oh yeah, I also did that in Tor and in STO. That's very true. But my point is, FF14 was kind of establishing a precedence there, because that I knew at the time that was going to be having an impact on WoW as well. There are many, many, many examples of WoW, of tools that I have at my disposal that I can make the WoW review way better and way smoother and way less aggravating of a thing. If I wanted total accuracy, what I would do is I'd go roll a new character in WoW Classic and start 1 through 60 in vanilla with nothing, essentially on a brand new account. No account unlocks, no heirlooms, no mounts, no money, no nothing. That would be terrible. That's an interesting point. I never thought about that, Valerian. I also don't cheat all that often, as we've talked about. The number of games that have the cheat flag is the extreme minority. Look, I've never tried to sell you on playing WoW Classic, Blade. Wait, you like FF11. You should go play WoW Vanilla. Alright, so I'm trying to think of the easiest way to, like... I've got a copy of the spreadsheet, and I'm trying to think of the easiest way to, like, hypothetically remove density from the equation. I suppose making every game the exact same length would accomplish that. Because at that point, it would all have the exact same density. No, that wouldn't work. Because they'd still have different points. So that doesn't work. So we'd have to actually change the density itself. So I'm looking at a giant factory and trying to think of which gear to remove. Ah, here we go. This is what I'll do. I'll just change the density multiplier. Yeah, there we go. There we go. All right, here we go. You ready for this? Let's remove density from the equation. Wow. Okay, that changed a lot. As it would expect. Okay. Hey, Mr. Red. Dragon Age Origins went up several steps. Baldur's Gate 3 is now one of my highest reviewing games. Rather suddenly. God of War 3 went down. Anything short went down. Like, Mega Man 11 plummeted to, like, the 50 slot. Mega Man 5 just absolutely just went way down. Yeah, Portal 2 plummeted down. Lufia 2 went up by quite a bit. Hang on. Let me actually organize this properly. So if we magically remove density from the equation... Oh, yeah, no, every long game just went up. Like, the top of my list is now being dominated by, 60-hour, 40-hour, 100-hour, 90-hour, 60-hour, 30-hour, 60-hour. Ori and the Will of the Wisps actually went up, I think. No, I think that actually went down to 13th. PMD went down to 168th. Way down. Hollow Knight went down to the 60th slot. Looks like the negatives weren't changed all that much. Go figure. I don't know, I notice, no offense, but I notice nobody has any ideas. And if you don't have any ideas, that's fine. The whole point of mentioning this is bring this to the crowd. And of course, if anybody in the YouTube comments has any thoughts, that's why I hit record before I said all this. Oh, there we go. Hang on, I just figured out a way to... I was wondering about this. It looks like I can remove density even more. There we go. Okay. Yeah, that's a little different. Okay, so let's reorganize this a little bit. Jesus Christ. Mega Man 11 plummeted down to 29th. Devil May Cry went all the way down to 36th. Mario Galaxy 2 went down to 39th. Which is funny, because Galaxy 1 is up to 35. Doesn't make sense. Oh, that's why. Makes sense. Oh, you mean the actual new golden system. Hang on. Head-on is at 59.36, which is pretty much dead on averagely good. That is there. Listen, Witcher 3. I mean, that's valid, Hazardous. By the way, that's an interesting analogy. I am the statistical sampling. Or are you? Super Banjo is absolutely correct. Longer games, I've said this so many times, a longer game has more opportunities for positives. And I actually value density over time more than density, period. So, I've talked about this before. If you are a 60-hour game with 10 density, or a 5-hour game with 10 density, the 60-hour game actually gets more value because of the fact that it retained density. That's already something that's built into the system. Because it's harder. Like, that's the philosophy there. It's harder to maintain a game as super good, and so they should get more. They should be valued more. So it is. It's one of the reasons why the highest rated game we've ever covered is a 63-hour game. In fact, you actually have to go pretty far down to get to an outlier, which is probably Mega Man 11, which is only 3.5 hours long. Because so many of the games above that are games that retained density, retained quality. I mean, look at this list. StarCraft 2, Diablo 3, Grand Theft Auto 5, Mass Effect 2, Shovel Knight, Metroid Dread, Portal 2, Dragon Quest Builders 2, Ori and the Will of the Wisps. All of those games retained quality pretty much all the way through. I know GTA 5 had that dip, but that was on the story axis. Ooh. Yeah, for a while there, Dread was actually at the top of the list. Then Mass Effect 2 came out, I was like, excuse me. GTA 5 came out, I was like, excuse me. Anyways, thought I'd bring it up to the crowd. Now I gotta remove this time from this review. We only been talking about 20 minutes. That's not too bad. So we'll just do this. And there. So, back to this game. This game sucks. Or, sorry. This game that's amazing. Please don't kill me. I know it was your childhood. Please don't kill me. I mean, there is a very good chance StarCraft 2 will not be beat. I legitimately cannot think of a game that is going to beat StarCraft 2. I would love to say that Chrono Trigger FF6 are in range, but I'm not that good of a liar. There's no way. Alright. Just because I feel like showing this off really quick, and this does not count, by the way, towards the extra time, but I was having issues this morning, or excuse me, yesterday morning, mentally. That's true, Bladeable! No, I'm pretty happy with the weighting right now. I think that list is about where it should be. And I've run it by several people personally, too. And we've all pretty much come up with the exact same result there. One of the things that one of my friends was making fun of me for was I was looking at something. It was one of the Mega Mans. I don't remember which. And I said, aw, such and such reviewed better than Mega Man. And they were like, are you going to change it? I was like, no. And they said, you know, that's what I like about you. And I'm sharing this story because it was like it was like a heartwarming thing. It was like, it made me feel better. Because they were like, I like the fact that you're trying to push away your personal biases for the purposes of being as accurate as possible. And I was like, well, it's not my fault. I'll tell you, I found it. It's God of War 5 scored better than Mega Man 5. And it should. Right, like that should be a thing. Or not Mega Man 5, sorry, Mega Man 6, excuse me. And it was just like, ah! But it's true, God of War 5 is a better game than Mega Man 6. I have to admit that. I have to acknowledge that. And I have to let the system work exactly as it is intended to work. But damn it! I've thought about that before, Blade Cheval, because I could try to estimate, like, because in some cases, I could pretty clearly estimate how much time I'm saving on grinding. That's easier in older games that I already know well. Like, if I decided to cheat in RF2, wow, in FF2, right, to skip, you know, just running around in circles and grinding for a minute, I could pretty easily just, like, cheat in some stats and then say, okay, there's an hour, right? Just tack an hour onto the thing. Because older games don't really take that long of grind. But to use, I'm sorry, Bleachville, I hate to keep using the example. To use Dragon Age Inquisition as the example, how much longer would that game have been if I wasn't flying all over the place? I don't really have a good metric for estimating travel time, because I skipped a lot of travel time in that game, probably in the 10-hour range. But I don't know how much. I can only wildly guesstimate at it. And so that's one of the reasons why I look at situations like that and I kind of go, anyways. So one of the things I did off camera was I went back and replayed several levels. I also finished 100%ing because, you know, that's for me. It's the only Mario I haven't 100%ed, so I wanted to go back. I wanted to 100% this. So I've 100%ed up to this point. I'll probably do the rest of it off camera. Don't worry, I'm not going to waste your time with it. But I did want to reevaluate, and that's why the score has gone up commensurately, because I was just having issues. Having said all that, and I mean no offense whatsoever to anybody who likes this game, I've come to a really strange conclusion with regards to this game. It's very average. Now, not averagely bad, but averagely good. Like I have a term for that. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if this scores right about at 60 as a result of that. It does a lot of things very safely and very, you know, smoothly, very simply, and doesn't really take any risks, doesn't really do a lot of interesting or engaging stuff. It's just kinda there. And that's not really a bad thing, but it is kind of weird that this game is the big competitor for, like, best-selling game of all time. But then again, we talked about that yesterday. Force Awakens, right? Best-selling Star Wars movie of all time is Force Awakens. And, I mean, that makes sense when you think about the factors involved. I've heard several people speak positively of Versus mode, yeah. But yeah, no, like, yeah, exactly. We're doing the return to form. Oh, jeez. Don't mind me. Okay. Can I, like, wait you out? Nope. Okay, cool. Ugh. Well, I wouldn't call this slop because it's still averagely good, right? It's a good game. And as I kind of made fun of yesterday, made fun of myself for this yesterday, there's nothing wrong with being mid, really. I think the only reason I'm even weirded out by this at all is the fact that this is probably the best-selling Mario game of all time, and it's definitely the second best-selling Mario game of all time, and it's one of the best-selling games of all time, period. If it wasn't for that fact, I probably wouldn't even be bonkered by this. It's just kind of weird to think about. I mean, to continue the movie analogy, I'll take this over frickin' Avatar any day of the week, you know what I mean? At least this is actually a good game. Yes, I realize that means I just called Avatar a bad film, and no, I don't care. Yeah, Avatar is crap. As opposed to, say, Force Awakens, which honestly is a pretty mid film. But that's fine. No judgment. Okay, so I'm going to take a save state because I forgot we've already thrown up the cheat flag here. Speaking of throwing up the cheat flag. Alright, let's see if I can do this in time. Nope, I couldn't even reach the thing in time. Come on, come on. Come on. Alright, now go. Go. Now don't die. No, please don't die. Okay, there we go. Okay, pause. Let's take a save state here. Kinda still going for all the coins. I mean, if nothing else, it'll speed it up later when I go for all the coins off camera in a way that doesn't affect the review. Going to chat. We don't care, Lore. Shut up and die. Okay, I'll go die then. Just call me Eeyore. That's what all my friends call me. Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. Okay, and death. Yeah, that's cool. Alright, so we're gonna rewind. That's kind of bullcrap. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna undo that, too. I mean, you'd be a very good voice actor for Eeyore, but that's not why they call me Eeyore. Like, my favorite part is he was just like, yeah, take your time. By the way, you're dead. Just, you know. Just making sure you're aware of this fact. Since I know I'm going up this time. Also, having gone back through, I can tell you right now that World 7 is easily the best stage in this, or the best world in this game. Like, they actually did some really cool stuff in World 7. Which is doubly funny, because World 7 is optional.
So nice.
I mean, everything is optional in a game like Mario, but you get my point. Like, World 4 and World 7 are the two easily skippable worlds. So anyways, I gave that a negative. We have precedence for that. Locking cool content behind stuff like that is not great. So that's negative number 5, looks like. I accept. Hi, Dakota.
Here I go.
Oh god, that's just this whole level, isn't it? Yeah, it's just my life now. Yeah, exactly, Dakota. Ironically, the example of locking content that we have used is a game we haven't reviewed yet. Which is wow. In World of Warcraft, there's entire boss fights and plot-critical information locked behind Mythic difficulty. Which is, I don't feel like accepting that. Which is exactly as frustrating and irritating as it sounds. Good afternoon, Jay Palmer. How you doing? Yeah. I'll accept that. This is just my life now. This is just my life. Aw. Are you disappointed because I failed you as a reviewer? I knew it! There. Just for you, Jay Palmer. No, for real. I was surprised by how badly Galaxy 2 scored. Keep in mind it was like 180, which is extremely high. I was surprised by how good Yoshi's Island scored, even though I myself have called it one of the best Mario games ever made. Many times. Otherwise, no, not really. Sunshine's score going down again was certainly amusing. Could you not do that, please? Okay, whatever.
Here I go.
Oh, bull crap. Good morning, Jurin. There's been a couple of graphical glitches, but otherwise, yeah, we've been fine, Talia. I just want you to understand that he just dove into a bottomless pit, which would kill him in order to kill me and prevent me from escaping said bottomless pit. He suicide bombed me with his corpse. Oh my god. So, there is one thing I kind of hate about this game. Like several other Mario games, including the 2Ds especially, the game kind of wants you to have power-ups at all times. And if you don't have power-ups, then you suck. Now, part of the reason I know this is because I've been looking at maps of this game, and there are power-ups absolutely everywhere. They clearly want you to have access to power-ups. But if you, for whatever reason, find yourself at a point where you don't have a power-up in store, and you're stuck in a specific section, sucks to be you.
Here I go.
Yeah, I've noticed there's a lot of erratic movement enemies in this game. Remember the bouncy, the jumpy blocks, whatever. Oh, god damn it! Which I gave a whole negative for because it was just awful. I mean, there's a lot of enemy spam in this game, and in several cases, you literally can't see it coming. I would call that as expecting you to take a hit. It is World 8. Whatever that name counts. Yeah, honestly, I'm leaning that way, Blade Jamal. This is a little bit ridiculous. So my choices there were get hit or fall, if you were paying attention to that. I should have taken the hit, but I thought I could pull that jump. So this is a perfect example of what was being talked about. You know, if I start using more save states, that's going to reduce the time spent on this particular run. Because, you know, that's how that works. Yeah, no, it's functionally gotcha, Dark Day, which we have a whole category of negatives for gotchas. The best part about gotchas is the term actually comes from platformers. Go figure.
Here I go.
I mean, there kind of is, Kieran Elior. Anytime we feel the need to cheat, it's because something's wrong somewhere. The way that tends to work out is there's no such thing as a game that I don't give a negative for cheating, if that makes any sense. What? That ate my input.
Here I go.
Wait, which thing don't you agree with? We're talking about several things at once here, Super Bad. Pause. Save state. Unpause. Pause. Save state. Unpause. Wait, what's not fair? When did anybody say anything about fairness? I feel like I missed some. Oh, okay. All right. I will listen. What's your reasoning? Because ultimately, what I'm asking is, what about this is not gotcha? You need some lives, don't you? Sure.
Here I go.
Nah. She and the clone troopers would be tight. Just all the sex, Sectef. All the sex. Someone do me a huge favor. Look at my Super Mario World review and look at the negatives. I'm looking for something about backtracking, maybe. Oh, that's cool.
Here I go.
No, Super Mario World. Just plain old, plain old. I don't know. Screw it, I'll just look at it myself. I just wanted to not have to pause the stream to go look at it myself. I'll just look at it myself. God. There it is. Yep, there it is. Seconds and minutes. That's exactly the one. I thought it actually launched successfully, Command & Conquer 2. Like, I heard someone talking about that this morning, so.
Here I go.
And not all clones, Zactoft. That's a pity. I think.
Here I go.
So you're saying she would really like the clones, Zactoft? Like she would get along with them and want to champion them? That's what that sounds like to me. What, me falling to my death, Dark Day? I just answered that, Zactoft. You just answered that, Zactoft. She's a clone. They're clones. Manipulated and used for the purposes of someone else? I mean, come on, think about it. Oh, ah, darn. My evil plan is over. game review. If you haven't watched the Secret of the Stars review, or the highlight reel, go watch one of them. I don't care which, just do it.
Can I go?
Yeah, I hope you like dad jokes. Hi, Twister. I should say that every time I die. Aw, darn. Of course, I'll be saying that a lot. I rolled 8. There's a lot of death here. Are you kidding me with this? Whatever.
Woohoo! That's so nice.
That's... Oh, okay. Just in this game, J. Palmer, twice. Once to kill him, and then once to kill his undead form.
Can I go?
Yeah, there's more World 8. Try not to be shocked. Oh, in all the games? Well, no, actually, if you think about it, it's a very small number. Because generally speaking, Bowser doesn't die in a Mario game. It's kind of an exception in that regard. So there's Galaxy 1. And then there's this one. And, that might actually be it. In 3, he's noticeably fine, as he escapes into World. In Yoshi's Island, he's obviously fine, because, you know, he goes on to be part of the series from that point onwards. Yeah, in this game, he melts in lava. He dead. Mario 1 is, for all intents and purposes, Mario 3, so narratively, I was just counting Mario 3.
Can I go?
Yeah, Bowser literally bathes in lava. Okay. Like, literally, on camera. Notice the lava advancing down there. I usually like stages of this variety, so it should be interesting to see if I like this one. There you go. This is stupid. Yep, okay. I accept.
Here I go.
I don't know, you are Mr. Red. Have I considered doing a Mario rewrite? Actually, yes, I have. It would probably be more of a codified thing, you know, like we did with our Diablo. Rather than like a specific Mario game being repeated. There is. Sorry. I'm pretty sure there's some rubber banding going on with this lava. Like, I'm almost positive. Sure. I could see you as Rosalina. Just because I feel like it. Okay, we're fine.
So nice.
Yeah, we gotta have a voice actor for Mario. And I want you to sound as much as Chris Pratt as you can. The true voice of Mario.
Here I go.
I mean, if there's one thing I can say about Chris Pratt's performance, it's that I've heard worse performances. Hey, Yada. How's your day going? Ooh, Sledge Bros. Didn't know you were in this game. Imagine like a kind of a normal-ish sounding voice, but then add some sarcasm to it. And that's Chris Pratt in a nutshell. That sounds dismissive, but I don't really mean it as such. He does a really good everyman voice. It's probably one of the better bits of acting that he can do. I mean, I've said this before, Chris Pratt tends to just play Chris Pratt, which is fine. I'm not trying to bash that, it's just, that's his approach. He's not the only actor who does that. Sure.
Here I go.
I heard the sound and jumped out of muscle reflex. It is Pitkiss. Like I said, I'm not trying to sound dismissive. I do think Chris Pratt was the wrong choice for Mario. But, like I said, there are worse actors than he. And, you know, he does do a good job of sounding normal. And I know, I say normal. Speaking as a director, it's hard to even explain this properly. Because most actors do not have the ability to sound normal. I say normal. I'm not even sure I'm using the right terminology here. There's kind of an everyman, like just a guy going about his day job kind of a tone. And that's a harder tone to pull off than you'd think. Like I said, most actors do not have the ability to do that tone. Kurt Russell as Mario. Wait a minute, I have an idea. Mundane, that's a great word. We'll go with that instead of normal. I really don't mean it as an insult. I can actually give you a specific example. If you've ever listened to the Final Fantasy IX Theater, first of all, you just made my day. But second of all, the way that Lore Reloaded voices the announcer guy in Chapter 3, that's what I mean when I say normal. That's that, and I actually told him that when I was giving him direction for that role, is that he did a really good job of that mundane tone, which is exactly what I wanted out of it. He thought I was insulting him. I super wasn't.
So nice.
Who would I voice as cast as Mario? Am I limited by reality, or can I cast any actor ever? Oh my god. Okay. Okay, that's a thing. I think I might want to walk into this stage with some power-ups. Okay. Leave for a moment to go get some power-ups. You know, really funny thing, I was actually thinking of my own actors who I would cast as Mario, and you were one of my first thoughts, Mr. Red.
Here I go. Here I go.
That would have been funny, J. Palmer. Turn this up over here. Well, it's funny you say that, Mr. Red, because the moment I started thinking about directing Mario was the exact moment I realized that what I want out of a Mario is someone who doesn't really have a lot of self-esteem and doesn't really believe in himself. He's probably going through a decent amount of imposter syndrome. And so there's a hesitance to just how he talks in general. Just normally. Like just his everyday speech lends itself towards indicating how little he believes in himself.
Here I go.
And just kind of add that extra layer of, for lack of a better way to put it, relatability to the character, which I think you could pull off very well. This would also then kind of form an arc here, obviously. So yeah, no, funny thing. Yeah, it was nothing. You did it. You saved the princess. I mean, you know, I didn't do it alone. You know, there was kind of a group effort, and Bowser still caused a bit of damage first. Yeah, but you're Mario. What are you talking about? It's cool. No, it's fine. Listen, I gotta head home. I got a thing to do. He gets home. He has nothing to do. That's interesting. Of course, he eats the mushroom because, after all, he likes mushrooms. Such a dumb plot point. I can call it that. Ah, there we go. Fantastic. I didn't even see that. I'm gonna indulge in that reload there. No, don't bother doing an accent. Even Mario doesn't really have an Italian accent. He has a New York accent, if anything. Oh my god. God damn everything in the world. Alright. Give me a power-up so I have a life. Fine. God damn it! Come on! Hit the jump when I jump. When I use the jump button, I don't want you to sit there and contemplate the mystery of the cosmos. I want you to jump! That time he jumped. Anyways,
So nice.
exactly, Pastor of Muppets. The mystery of cosmos is the jump button. That explains why the rocket blew up today. They didn't hit jump! Alright. Stretch. I don't know, that's very off the top of my head for Mario. It's just, it was the first thing that came to mind, and I usually tend to run with those kind of ideas when it comes to trying to add characterization to someone. But yeah, no, Dwight Schultz would be my other pick. So either Mr. Red or Dwight Schultz for Mario. This is safe. And death.
Here I go.
Yeah, this looks like one of those no mid-mission checkpoint levels. Just like the last one was. The last snake level, I should clarify. Not, you know, the stage we just did. Mid-mission checkpoint. Artificial, but it's still there. Oh my god, there's actually a mid-mission checkpoint. I'm actually shocked by that. Yes, I get it, game. You really want me to fall on the bob spikes. I know they're right there. I know they're so tempting. They're so pretty. And shiny. Spiky. Oh. Yeah, yep, I accept that. I don't accept that, though. Just got shoved right off there.
Here I go.
Wait, but who would I voice, Mr. Red? The only correct answer is Sabaka. I know, right, Pastor of Muppets? Can you imagine such a thing? I mean, this is 2006. This is a modern game. This game just came out.
In I go.
So while we're here, being vaguely bored, how do you feel about the replayability of this game? And keep in mind, the versus mode doesn't exist. No, that's the joke, Dark Day. That pretty much is the joke. I mean, when did GTA 4 come out? That didn't have mission checkpoints either. Are you being forced? Yes! They're holding you down, kicking and screaming, saying, play the Mario. Do the Mario. Swing your arms from side to side. That's unkind. All that for nothing. Oh yeah, so for those of you who don't know, there's a challenge mode. What it does is it prevents you from scrolling the screen left or down. That's unkind as well.
In I go.
It's meant to emulate Mario 1. Because, you know, this is a really big nostalgia game. Like I said, this is the first time Nintendo really started hitting that particular well. What, you mean playing as Luigi? Fun fact, I looked it up. Luigi doesn't actually play differently in this one. Which, to my knowledge, makes this the only time that's ever been true. Like, since Lost Levels. Because in Lost Levels, oh my god. In Lost Levels, Luigi plays differently. Or I guess I should phrase that better. So it's the first time since Mario Brothers... Oh my god, that's why he doesn't play differently. It's because this is emulating Mario Brothers 1. And in Mario Brothers 1, the original, Luigi doesn't play differently. Thanks, game. Appreciate you. What, phone? I'm not looking at you. I'm not looking. Okay, fine. What? What? Okay, that's okay. That's okay. I'm just gonna save here really quick. No reason. It's just, you know. That felt like a secret. That felt like a secret. There's nothing there. I feel cheated. I saw that coming. I accept. All right, hang on. I don't accept. Death to acceptance. And death to the living. Anyways, the minigames also do not count, but we've already reviewed the minigames because they are exactly the same as the minigames in Super Mario 64 DS. So they get exactly the same review, by virtue of being frickin' identical. Holy crap. Okay. Holy diver.
So nice.
Okay. I'm going to chop off the guessing game pretty much now. So if you haven't gotten your guesses in, this is a good time for it. Honestly, ditto Captain Crispy Hexagons. Because, yeah, like, they made the mini games, and then they kept porting them out. Oh, they stopped, to my knowledge, after this. And then the mini game developers all went off to make WarioWares. One Dark Day. So I just need to look something up super quick here. You know what's really funny about his home security? It doesn't work. Conversely, maybe it works really well because it keeps everyone out except for, you know, Mario. That's what I thought. Okay, cool. Double checking something. Closing off the guessing game. I'm pretty sure I've seen that Dorkly Dark Day. Jay Palmer, as a reminder, and Spartan, if you're here, as a reminder, you can put your guess towards up to 3 things. You've currently only put it towards 1.
Here I go.
Yeah, exactly. It's really, really good at keeping everyone out, except for this one dude who's just like, you know what? But then, like, it pisses off that one dude, right? It's like, ugh, I had to go through all this crap just to reach you. Okay. See, that's what the other people should have thought of. They should have had a whip. Is that just... Is that going to keep... Okay. You put your guessing game guess towards only 1 game. You can put it towards 3. And if you don't put it towards 3, you will be summarily... I don't know. Given pineapple. Like a whole pineapple. Just the whole thing. Well, what do you want to add then? I'll just type it up. I can do the typings, I swear. I took a whole class on typing. That's actually true. I took lessons on how to learn how to type. That was 3rd grade. Okay, so Jay Palmer is putting it towards Seek and Destroy. 24, Season 1, and wow. And then Spartan is putting it towards Dead Space R. Let's see. Hello Kitty's Island Adventure and Barbie Mall Adventure. Okay, cool. Yeah, I thought that was going to happen. I think you're clever, Thwomp. Well, yeah, but the spreadsheet's, like, locked down, so you gotta tell me what to put there, Spartan. Or it will never happen! Absolute... See, that's the real downside of having absolute control. You gotta do everyone's work for you. For them. Everyone just sits around, you know, lazing around like Spartan over there, just chilling, having a beer, eating a pizza. And I'm just sitting there slaving away in the streaming mines. Right next to Mr. Red, who's slaving away in the highlight reels mines. Cool. I accept that. Nothing happened. Got it. So, Zelda block. You sure you don't want Hello Kitty's Island Adventure? That's a real game, by the way. Zelda block. There. Done. Okay, cool. Thank you. Look, I ain't here to judge. You want to drink your poison death juice at 8 in the morning, or 10 in the morning. It's actually an MMO. It was one of the earliest MMOs, in fact. It was the Hello Kitty one. I might be getting the name wrong, but it was like Hello Kitty something something island something. So no, you can't donate it for it because it's MMO. Might not even be live anymore. Was it any good? Nope. And yes, I did play it. But of course I did. The moment I saw that, I was like, oh, I've got to try that out. I've got to know. That's just mean. I'm unaware of South Park being relevant to Hello Kitty's Island Adventure. But I'm not sure of the timeline. So, would be my answer to that. Oh. Yeah, by like several years. Like, I'm pretty sure the Hello Kitty MMO predates WoW. Oh, I'm wrong. It actually came out later. It has been shut down, however. It was shut down in 2017. Oh, gotcha. Well, I don't know when the South Park episode came out, so well. I confess ignorance. Oh, there you go. South Park predates Hello Kitty Online. Well, that episode of South Park predates. Obviously, South Park predates it in general. Left for loot. Hopefully this is right. That's funny, Columboza. I don't know what you're talking about, Action Man. You're seeing things. You don't have to... Just really copying Mario Brothers 1 at this point. Just really copying it. save state that, so I never have to do this stage again. Boss time! I suppose I should actually shut down the guessing game. Oh, I already did. Yay! By the way, yes, that is literally a Godzilla sound effect you're listening to. The Bowser Roars. Hello, Cole. Damn it. What? Ugh. Oh my god. I'm just gonna turn my phone upside down so I can't see it because that's just distracting. Okay, so that's what it is. So we're gonna rewind here. I'm not actually sure what the game wants me to... Never mind. It wants me to wait. Okay, cool. My money's on Bowser. No, Giga, I am not.
So nice.
Yes, I get it. You're a freaking superhero who can beat the crap out of Bowser by yourself. What's the speedrun act? What? So one thing that's cool about this, and I do like this, and I'm probably going to give it a positive. The slides we're getting here are specific to the levels we did. So if you do the actual bare minimum number of levels, which is like 5. No, that's not true. It's like 15. But still, if you do like 2 levels in World 1, and then 2 levels in World 5, and then all of World 8, you don't get a lot of slides here. To my knowledge, this is the first Mario to do this. A speedrun of this game. And done. Time. Yeah, I don't know, Act, is the truthful answer. I've never thought about it. The problem is, there's no real funding a speedrun, right? Like, what that would boil down to is you fund a day of practicing a speedrun. Because the odds of actually concluding it... Like if I said, I'll charge you an hour and a half for a Super Metroid speedrun, but then what if I die halfway through? Or what if I screw up, or what if I go faster, or what if I go slower? You get it, right? Either way, let's lean towards no at the moment. Yeah, exactly, Dark Day. Yes, the very last one, Columpluso. And it is a full cast list. Unlike Hollywood, I actually make a note of every single actor who does every single role and who exactly they play. And forgive me for sounding pissy, but it actually irritates the crap out of me when I go to look up who someone voiced in a game and I see miscellaneous or additional voices by. No, you voiced that NPC, and that NPC, and I wrote that crap down. Or other. Hate that crap. Do I have a separate voice actor for a singing role? We haven't had a singing role yet. But when it comes to RFF6, there's a really good chance that whoever voices Celeste will have to sing. Oh, no, I'm wrong. In the Undertale Theater, the gentleman who voices Mettaton, his name is Maverick, he actually does his own singing for that scene. It was one of the requirements for voicing Mettaton. Probably Blade to Ball. Admittedly, I'm not sure what format the opera is going to take, but there's a pretty good chance the opera is going to exist, because everybody would revolt if it didn't. And I'm pretty sure everybody will already hate the idea of all the changes I'm making to RFF 4 through 6. Telling you, the only reason people don't care up until now is because we haven't hit games that people actually care about. When we get to games people care about, I'm going to hear some whinging, let me tell you. I have never coached people in singing, no. I have actually taken singing lessons, of course. Because I can sing, but... Oh, and there's the Luigi thing in the background, which you can't even see. And that's it. That's the game.
Huh? Hmm?
I mean, if you're asking why is the DS the most well-selling, second best-selling console of all time, that's kind of a good question, honestly. Like, the PS2, we could say pretty definitively why the PS2 is ridiculous. But the DS didn't really do anything better than the GBA in several respects. But they did market the crap out of it. And everyone makes fun of it, but there's a reason they kept re-releasing new versions of the DS, too. Just to keep it fresh in people's minds.
Huh?
And yeah, the DS bump is a very, very real phenomenon. Guys, I'm just gonna shut this down. Well, considering what we just played was clearly a retro thing, we'll play this music. DS is at the top, followed, or sorry, the PS2 is at the top, followed by the DS, followed by the Switch, I do believe. I can double check that really quick. Slow down the audit, which is what Dark Day really wants. Nope, I'm right. This is funny. So it's the PS2, which, yeah, that's never getting topped. The DS, which actually is really, really close to the PS2. They're like neck and neck. And then you jump down by a massive 20 million jump, and that's the Switch, which is still selling, by the way. Then they lump the Game Boy and the Game Boy Color together for the number 4 slot. And then the PS4 for the number 5 slot. So there's the PS4. The Xbox 360 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9th. And the lowest one on this list that you've ever heard of is the Dreamcast. Right below the Sega Saturn. And the Game Gear, and the Master System. Dreamcast did not sell well at all. Dreamcast was a complete financial bomb. And I can't summarize that. There's a lot that went into that. There's a lot of reasons why that system just kind of fell apart. Quite literally killed Sega as a company. And if not for a huge influx of money, which was totally not from the Mafia, then, yeah, Sega would have died as a company completely. I know, right, Braglin? No, Fife. I would never say something like that, ever. Definitely not. Wink, wink. Please do not kill my cat, Fife. I know that I definitely have a cat who definitely exists. She's actually right here. Hi, Sushi Cat. Okay, so to avoid joking for just a second, we don't know with 100% certainty. Like, we know the person who donated that money. We don't 100% know how legit that money is, and we never will. There's stuff that can be inferred from that person's career and where that money probably came from. But the harsh truth is we don't know with total certainty that it was definitely organized crime. The motive is actually really funny. Because it's exactly what you're thinking. The dude really liked the Sega arcade scene when he was younger. And he saw he was dying. He was dying of health issues. In fact, he died not that long afterwards. And so he decided, with the last of his life and the last of his money, he wanted to give Sega that shot in the arm. So he did. I do not Frisco Born, no. Yeah, and that's true. Organized crime has plenty of legitimate sources of income, too. So, shrug. Oh, god damn it. Sorry, hang on. I screwed up. I gotta redo this whole thing. Yeah, my grandfather, on my mother's side, yes, that one, totally doesn't have any connections to organized crime. Definitely. But he worked as officially, excuse me, worked as a union representative for an oil union back in the day. And honestly, usually when I say what where my grandfather's wealth came from, all I have to say was he was a union rep for an oil company. And that's as far as I need to go with that. And they're just like, ah, gotcha. I forget which oil company. I think it was Phillips, but it was one of them. Oh yeah, Brigwin's the queen pin. Even sounds cooler. I sincerely doubt it, Frisco Born. At least not now. Now, like 20 years ago, sure. Now, I know this is going to sound shocking, but I stayed the hell out of that nonsense. I was always Joe Pesci. I mean, do I look like a comedian? Do I look like someone who's here to dress up and make you laugh? Bring delight to your joyful life? Is that what I'm here for? Yeah, do I look like a plumber? Do I look like a saving princess? My mother's side act. Where the money came from. Where Jay Palmer came from. I'm not saying Jay Palmer is literally the head of every mafia clan. But Jay Palmer is literally the head of every mafia clan. See, that's how I stay afloat, right? Jay Palmer's like, here you go. Get yourself something nice. I'm like, thank you. Thank you, Don Palmer. Thank you. Don't worry, I'm going to buy you something nice. Thank you, Jay Palmer. As always. Much appreciated. What the heck is Gabagool? I've heard people reference that before. Ah, gotcha. So, Blade Terrell, you said you think this game's main competition is Mario 3. Obviously, it's going to be Mario 1, because Mario 1 was net negative. Final story score, 2. Not a lot going on there. Nothing else to add. Final gameplay score, plus 18. That leaves us with 100% story ratio. It's a gimme. But also a 73% golden gameplay ratio, which is not great. That's 0.2 stories per hour and 2 gameplay positives per hour. 9-hour game. 9-hour game. Which leaves us with a golden number of... Before I tell you this, let's look at our immediate competition here, shall we? Well, Mario World was 113. Mario 3 was 65. Mario 64 DS was 58. Mario 3D Land is 80. That's our 3DS game. So this game gets 45.81. That's honestly pretty much exactly where I thought it would sit. That is below 3 and below 3D and below 64 DS. Not as low as 64 regular. Let's see, where's the guessing game? So 45.81. So that means, wow, very few people guessed that low. Looks like that's going to Pitkiss then, by virtue of guessing a 50. Yeah, no kidding, Pitkiss. You need to share your method here. So that's going towards Empire of Sin, Pokemon Soul Silver, and Doom Block. Alright, so I got some paperwork to do. I've got some stuff to do. Next up, we are going to play the Wii version of this. And that's a much harder game. So we'll see how that works out. I'll see you guys in a bit.